For years, I've had a love-hate relationship with the website named Flickr, but I'm starting to love it again, and here's why. As a photographer, I get so disgusted with Instagram. I am so sick of Instagram that it's not even funny. Instagram is just another meta payola joke. But what about this little thing called Flickr that's been around for years? Well, so let me tell you about Flickr from a photographer's point of view. Flickr is great, especially if you're trying to get SEO. In 2025, if you take Flickr and you use Flickr for whatever it's used for, and I have way more photos on Flickr than I do on my portfolio. The reason I do that is I put tags, descriptions, titles, all this stuff in there. Guys, this has helped my SEO enormously. So just for that, as a professional photographer and a photojournalist who works in this business every single day, I find a value in Flickr. But beyond that, where does it go? To me, Flickr is a website that offers a lot. Now, it may not have as many users as Instagram. It doesn't even come close. But it does have a lot of information. Now, it can tell you what kind of camera I'm using, what my settings were, all the data from the camera. That is probably a little more technical than what the average Instagram user wants. I mean, Instagram just wants you to click ads and watch strippers. I mean, that's basically what Instagram amounts to today. Well, what about those of us who actually do photography and those of us who like photography? Flickr seems to be the home for that. Now, like I say, I've gone back and forth with Flickr, and I'm not paid to say any of this. Flickr hasn't given me a dime. But if they'd like to partner, I'm happy to do it. But listen to me. Flickr has a place in 2025. If at all, it's one of the cheapest SEO tools that a legitimate photographer can use. Now, I hesitate to say that because Google, which is the biggest search engine in the world, loves this platform for some reason. I don't know why. But let me tell you something. And again, the reason I hesitate to say that is now every effing marketer in the world is going to run and just start polluting Facebook with their little posters, their ads, and all this BS. But it's true. Google loves Flickr. So I think and I think you can find some good inspiration to that as well, okay? Like I use a Squarespace website. Squarespace has a little plug-in that you can even plug it in your Flickr account right into your Squarespace website if you like to. And again, I'm not paid by Squarespace. They're not paying me anything to do this. I'm not sure they actually pay anybody. They just offer discount codes and they pay out little commissions. That's something totally different than getting paid, right, for a partnership. But that's a whole nother story. But things like Flickr can be plugged into a lot of websites. And I think even WordPress allows you to do that too. And here's the thing, like I said, Google loves Flickr. So is it worth it in 2025 to still be looking at Flickr, paying the few dollars a year? I think you can get it for less than $6 a month now or something. If you do the annual package as a pro, I would suggest it, especially if you're trying to get noticed on the internet as a photographer. I think that's really important. Now, one of the downsides to Flickr is there's a lot of junk. There's a lot of junk. Thank God there's not a lot of marketers on there like Instagram. Instagram, like I say, Instagram has become a safe haven for marketers and strippers. Other than that, there's nothing really on there that's halfway important, right? So what we're trying to do is get away from that kind of junk. We're trying to find something that allows us to get our name out there, is SEO compatible, and can store high quality, good photos, right? Instagram compresses down these photos, right? Compresses it. They look okay. But on Flickr, you're not seeing that kind of compression. You're not seeing that kind of quality loss, right? This is kind of like listening to music in lossless, versus listening to it in mono. I mean, it's kind of the same principle. So if you think about it, this thing is still valuable and relevant in 2025. Why more people aren't using it? Because it's not Instagram. It's not as cute. It's not as built like Instagram to show just, marketers and strippers who are really marketing. It's not that. And I think that's why so many people are not gravitating towards Flickr here in 2025 versus things like Instagram. Now, there are some other ones out there. I think, what is it, Vero, what is it, 500px, whatever it is, there's all kinds. Every single day, something new comes out there, and they're going to be the next thing that changes the market. And that's not always the greatest thing when you try to start changing the market. These companies just like to reinvent the wheel, and at the end of the day, it's still a round wheel, right? I don't think Flickr is doing that. I think Flickr, while they were good for a while and they struggled for a little bit, now it seems like Flickr might be starting to come back. And if you're looking for a cheap SEO tool, one of the cheapest, most effective SEO tools for a photographer on the market, I think this is a great one, and you should definitely consider it for sure. So anyway, this is my take on it. I think it's a good tool. I think it's still relevant. I mean, it's easy to use. It's cheap. You can connect it to your Squarespace site or your WordPress, whatever. It's done right. This is an incredibly effective tool, and it's cheap posting. I mean, you can upload all kinds of photos unlimited, which is good. Flickr, I appreciate this. Do not change that. Don't be another one of these corny websites that tries to make just a ton of money off of different subscription models and fees and all that stuff, because I can tell you the average person is getting sick of it, and we're starting to, just like we cut the cord, you remember cutting the cord? We're starting to kick out some of these useless subscriptions too that cost only $6 a month. We're getting sick of it. So Flickr, do not do it. If you do it, I'm out of the market. I don't play these games. I don't think these tiered subscriptions and these corny little manipulative subscription services are the way to go. I think what you're doing is great. I think what Flickr is doing is offering a good service at a fair price. You can't beat it. So, would I still use Flickr in 2025? If you haven't gathered so by now, absolutely I would. I think it's a good idea, and I think if you're a professional photographer, you should too. So anyway, my name is Matt. Hey, thanks for joining me. I know I got like 9,400 subscribers on here already. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. And I know I haven't been pulling out the old camera and going like all gangbusters on the production and stuff, but you know what? So I just needed a break from the complicated. I think we should just kind of kick things back and keep it simple. That's where things grow. And so anyway, if you like this content, please like, subscribe, comment, and share. We'll make some more videos. I've got some interesting stuff coming up about how I visited Area 51 and all that good stuff. Not figuratively, but the neighborhood of Area 51. I got some interesting content coming up, so be sure to stick around. We'll see you in the next video. Take care of yourself and each other. Be good to one another. And to all our folks out there suffering from the fires in the LA region, we're thinking of you, really.